go say those beautiful words, baby.
And we are live.
Wow, cast.
Woo!
Dirt
What up,
Malone.
bros?
Dirt Malone with the Lifters shirt on. The Lifters shirt. That's one of the more legendary Johns.
Yo, you know what people don't realize is that we made this shirt for the LA Fit Expo, and there was another company going around that had it the day after. I won't mention names.
Yep.
The whole shit happens with Kobe, and it's just like,
Yeah, it was crazy. The timing of it all was nuts.
crazy. And then people were at the trade show like, that's fucked up that you made that shirt in the wake of Kobe's death. We're like, dude.
I know.
Like he just died. 10
He
minutes
passed
ago,
away
dude.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shirt's
Rest in
been
peace.
printed in 3 hours. Don't worry about it.
Can you believe that was 11 years ago?
It feels like 11 years ago. I mean, in GCode time plus COVID, you know, it's like a long, long time ago, but it's only like 4 months ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah,
End of January.
Right.
And you know, so 5 months ago.
Crazy, dude.
Totally crazy.
As long as you're in good health, you know what I'm saying?
That is correct. Dirt Malone with the little sample there, little urine sample.
Yeah,
Tropical Triumph Moonshine.
See if he's gonna pop positive for Tren. I would say yes. I saw a meme going on Sko Nice about the best sluggers from the Juice era.
Okay.
And like you had to pick your top 3 Juice era sluggers.
Who are
And
they?
it was
Known
like,
juicers or just juice?
well, no, there was juice fingers pointed in there that are there. Yeah, look what happens when you point that finger there. Well, look,
4 right back in.
Listen, you've pointed the juice fingers so much in your day that you are now injured permanently. You have carpal tunnel from pointing the juice. You pointed the juice finger so much it gave you carpal tunnel.
I like the receptionist at the doctor's office that's like this, and she's like, "Oh, he'll go and see you over there." And she's been typing so long, and she just has carpal tunnel.
Yeah, man,
It's a real thing, dude.
It's for real, Johnny Juice Finger. I remember when Sko had his when Sko was super deep, when he was quite deep in the GCode lifestyle, and he had to make the transition to not being a human being anymore and to being partially robotic. And he had a holding his phone injury, right? Let's go.
Yeah, because I'm holding my phone and pinching, the bicep and the forearm.
Yep.
12 hours a day.
I remember.
It turns out doing that to one of your arms for like 300 straight days, 12 hours a day, not good for you.
Yeah, no shit. Who would have
Funny
fucking
how that
guessed?
works. The human body was not meant to hold a phone all day.
To be crouched forward like this in this posture, 12 hours a day. We weren't designed to do that. I didn't know that.
They got yoga.
I've adapted.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Dirt Malone is doing yoga now. DDP yoga. Like Diamond Dallas Page yoga.
DDP yoga. Yeah, there was a video that popped up. It said phone pose. But yoga for phone pose like this. You know, people are always like this. Greg's definitely one of those people.
Hey.
So they got the yoga for that opens you up like this.
I'm sorry, man. What were we saying? I'm sorry, bro. What were you saying?
Was it effective? Do you feel yogied?
I didn't do the phone one. I did the what are they called? They're like not the groin. They're called the psoas or something. That's like,
psoas. Remember? Didn't Unbroken Rhino give me like I think he diagnosed an injury I had as being psoas related.
Yeah, psoasis. That's crazy, man. You do those and you realize how unflexible you are.
Oh yeah.
And then supposedly if you keep going after it, like I've done 3 or 4 little sessions just with my phone kind of like this and, just stretching on the ground. Your flexibility does enhance and it gets better. And I think it actually helps just your overall health and lifting a little bit.
Undeniably it does. There's no doubt. You see, Dorian Yates does yoga daily now. You know that?
I know.
There's a reason why, because it's an exercise designed for longevity. It's a longevity practice. It's the kind of thing that will keep you healthy longer. And if you really think about it, like, you know, we joke about flexibility as relates to training and all that stuff, and like how not flexible we are. And it's true. Myself times two. But you know, when you talk about longevity, right, the reason that flexibility is so important in longevity is because it relates directly to injury prevention, right?
Oh yeah.
And you think about how important in later life, like flexible hips and shoulders are, and those sort of things are so critical in terms of, you know, just quality of life. So like yoga and those kind of things are like truly like life extension wellness sort of practices.
Oh, dude, my nephew, who's 17, he's going to a big baseball tournament. He had the injury like 2 weeks before, and he's like, this is going to be brutal. I'm not going to be able to pitch. He's a pitcher.
Yeah. Yep.
And he went to a physical therapist, and he told the physical therapist, like, just described him what was going on for like 15 minutes. The physical therapist laid him on the ground on his back, had him stick his leg up, and just turning his leg,
you
know, leg up in the air and turning from side to side, he realized like one of your legs can't turn at all, right? In this one direction. It's your hip. Your hip is too tight. And what you're doing is like you're using your core and your abs and all these other things to try to compensate for the fact that your hip doesn't have the flexibility. And the guy had him, you know, like my brother-in-law was telling me, took my nephew, this guy, thinking like, we're looking at a month of rehab here, 2 months or whatever. The guy did like 5 minutes of stretches just to get that thing loose. And he's like, no, you're good, man. You can go pitch right now. Like the pain went away immediately.
Yeah.
Like, he felt like 100%, you know, like it literally couldn't even move it a centimeter, did a couple stretches, and was like, boom, you know.
I had a very similar thing, Skull, like years and years ago. You know, before the GCode era, and I was at the Arnold Classic. And do you guys know Derek Farnsworth?
Yeah.
He's an incredible dude. And he's a massage therapist by trade, and does like deep tissue and all that sort of stuff. So like he's the kind of person, like, you know, he's almost like, he's far beyond like a massage therapist. He's like almost like on a chiropractor, like rehab specialist level, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like a master massage therapist. And he's like a high level athlete, so he's had all these injuries, so he knows how to diagnose all the stuff. And I had this recurring hip thing that it sounds exactly like what your nephew had. And, you know, probably related to leg training or whatever, and where it was like really hurting me. And he literally just sort of took my leg, moved it in a couple different directions, did some like deep tissue, like really digging into the, you know, the tendons and ligaments and muscles, you know, related to like the glute and the thigh and the hip.
Yep.
Literally like 5 minutes of work, and it never hurt me again.
Right.
It's like incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I believe in physical therapy, man, big time, you know.
And a lot of these nagging injuries are really just like almost like singular symptom issues that just need to be pinpointed and directly addressed, and you don't even realize it.
You need an adjustment. That's what it is.
Oh man. You know, I haven't been to a chiropractor in so long, and I would love to go to one who I trusted on a semi-regular basis, because it does make a difference, man. That absolutely makes a difference in terms of how you feel and how you function.
Word.
It was one of those things too. I remember hearing about chiropractic as a kid before I was well versed in any of this stuff, and before I was, you know, lifting and training on that level. And I remember somebody telling me like just an anecdotal story about how when the people in their family got sick, instead of going to an MD, they'd go to the chiropractor.
Right.
And I thought, and when I heard that as a kid, I thought to myself, that sounds fucking nuts. That sounds like quack stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then you sort of learn about like the function of the body and how like the alignment of the spine directly relates to everything.
Yep.
And how gland function and these things like really are the telltale signs of wellness or illness, and how like if you can address and rectify any problems you're having with those, you can either overcome sickness faster or not get sick. And now it just makes, from like a holistic medicine standpoint, and now it makes perfect sense. Whereas at one point, you know, when I was more ignorant to that sort of stuff, it seemed like nonsense. And now I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense. Crazy.
Yeah, man. I wish I had like the Los Angeles Lakers staff like on call.
Yes.
Like I can only imagine like the level, like the level
Oh,
of care that like a professional sports team gets, like to patch guys together.
For sure.
And so like when like a guy's out, man, for the most part, like it's because something it's pretty serious,
Of course. And you see, I've always envied like guys with hyperbaric chambers and all those kind of things that you can utilize to like recover faster. Durham Malone, speaking of holistic approaches, I was making fun of your urine sample that you were sipping, but is that one of your wellness elixirs that's part of your 40 days and 40 nights? What is that?
So in the morning, I'll fill the tea kettle up, which I don't know if you can see. This is right here.
Okay, I see it.
So I fill that thing up, and I'll just wait for it to start screaming. And then what I'll do is I get 2 of these mason jars. The Pickle Baron's back in action, by the way.
Wow.
Check him out. There's going to be
Pickle God.
So you take 2 of these mason jars, and I literally just put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, some lemon. What else? I put some honey in there, and then I just take like random tea bags, like turmeric, peach, matcha, or however.
Sure, matcha, of course, yeah.
Yep.
And then just some random stuff, and then I just let it steep for a little bit, cool down, put it in the fridge, and then, when you're done training or doing whatever you're doing and you're thirsty, you just sip on this, and it's amazing. It's been helping me, and I guess I have some digestive problems because I just eat a shit ton of meat or ground beef.
Right.
Recently, I've been, backing off of that and just, trying to stay more lean and clean and just going fruits, veggies, and, chicken or fish because it's summertime. So just eating light and being out and about. And I feel like this has been helping me a lot. So it's good.
Awesome. I dig it.
But this is actually piss. Because I already finished this one, so I just filled this up. As you can see, see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Right, so you drank the tea already, then you pissed it back out, now you're recycling.
Yeah, you got to recycle it, get it back, and make sure your body absorbs it all.
It's very
good
green.
For the earth.
It's very green.
Actually, I've seen Sco. If you check the Instagram on IG, really proud of Sco because he went hiking and he filled 2 bags. And he, like this.
I saw that, doing the Hercules hold.
Now, did you see anybody on the trail like, oh my God, look at that guy. He's doing the right thing.
Yeah, no, a couple people. Kaylee's doing it too, so we were both there, and a lot of people were thanking us for doing it and everything, and I'm like, all right, well, you could pick some up.
Exemplary status and noble action, though, right? Like
no, that's what I was trying to do.
The thought that not only did he do that, but people saw him do that, and they play it. There's 100 people who see a good deed and it goes unnoticed. But one of those fucking people might have been like, "Yo, that was fucking great when I saw that guy doing it. I'm gonna go do the same thing elsewhere." And then they went and did it, and then somebody saw them. It's like that's a legitimate thing. That's a legitimate phenomenon, and how you change the world.
It's a new trend in local hiking trails.
That's correct.
Well, look, I think there was like some like online campaign years ago or 2 years ago or a year ago that went viral where it was like 20 pounds out or something like that, where like people around the world would like go to a beach and clean up garbage or go to a thing. Like I remember seeing I forget what the thing was. I didn't even think of that when I decided to do this. We've been hiking because you couldn't go anywhere other than in the house or a trail for 3 months.
Yep.
And so I just saw so much trash that I'm like, this fucking sucks, man. Because, it's crazy about like state parks and federal parks. So a lot of people don't really think of it that way, but they should. Is like, it's your land.
Of course.
It's like one of the best things about America is that like we own, it's our land, so our taxes pay for it. It's there for kids to run in and take your dog. And like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in a lot of these parks, whether it's the Statue of Liberty or Mount Rushmore, like, they're all parks. And a lot of people work really hard to maintain them. But then you go and you see like, man, I saw like, there's like a trash can that was like full and people were just throwing trash at the can because the can was full. And so there's like 3 feet of trash around this can. I'm like, it wasn't where I just went, but like, I'm going to go there.
Right.
And I'm like, come on, man, like take your water bottle with you in the car and throw it, recycle it somewhere else.
Yep.
I don't think it's asking a lot, and you see how much it adds up when 100 people don't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
If you just did that, you think like, oh, it's just this little thing. But if everybody thinks that way, before you know it, like, you know, we're up to our neck in shit. So,
I mean, we had the shopping cart conversation, right? Remember?
Right.
And it was just about like these little tiny things. And I told you that one of the things, like, I have like these weird little rituals that I do that are ingrained in what I do, and they're so minor that it's like nothing. But like I never try to park like in the close spots when I go to the supermarket, right? Because I think to myself, well, I'm an able-bodied man. I'll let you know, a senior citizen park or a pregnant woman park close if there's a close spot. I don't need, you know, I could use the extra fucking 50 feet of cardio.
Man, I'll see some people drive like 10 laps around the parking lot.
Exactly. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous to me, right? Like you're one, I'm an able-bodied man, and then two, the time wasted just driving around, like, why do that, right? So like I'll never park up front. I always try to park in the back of the lot. And the other thing that I try to do is like when I take my cart back, if there's other carts right by me, I'll take those back too. Because I think, you know, it's kind of bullshit that, you know, I'm not saying I walk around for an hour, but if there's people strand carts all the time. If there's one within proximity of me, I'll grab it and I'll put it back. And with mine. And it's funny because I did it the other day and a guy was like, hey man, I saw that. That was good. That was good. Hey man, I saw that. It's good stuff. And I was like, he scared me at first. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I said it's the little things. But like, but it's funny because that guy saw me and now maybe that guy is going to do that. And it's like, you know, it's those little fucking things, you know.
Dancing in his head, dude. Trust me.
It's funny, those little things. And I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I've definitely been the person to be inspired by someone doing a little thing.
Right. And it works the other way too, man. Like somebody sees someone being a jerk and they think, oh, fuck it.
Right.
I might as well be an asshole too. You know, like the first guy that throws that trash next to that can. Sure. The second guy's like, well, whatever.
I saw what that guy did.
Pick this all up anyways.
Of course.
You know?
Lead by example.
Of course, man. Of course. Always.
So how's your 40 days and 40 nights going along those lines, guys? Dirt, I was going to ask you, now I know you have the wrist injury, right? Have you taken the initial steps towards a 40-yard field goal attempt?
So I was training with my buddy the other day, invited him into the wood. Oh, he's got the football right there.
Look at that.
And he's a gym teacher in our town. And he actually has like the key for all like the little bins that are in front of every single park. So I was like, dude, I gotta kick this 40-yard field goal, and I don't care if I gotta break my toe in the process, but how many footballs do you have access to? He's like, I think like 10. And I got the little spike thing too. I was like, all right, it's because one day you gotta come with me and we gotta make this shit happen. So it's in progress, it's in the minds, and it's gonna start translating to the foot, okay?
Have you attempted a field goal before?
I've kicked like a 25-yarder when I was maybe in high school, but I didn't come close. So I'm gonna fucking try. I'm hoping I'm gonna start from like the 20 and then maybe work my way.
Of course, sure.
One gets a good wind, good breeze, or whatever it may be, and just, you know, maybe hit the upright and go in or something. But we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna definitely document the whole process. So if I do it or not, you know, I gotta do it. There's no ands, if, or buts. It's gonna happen.
When I was a kid, I was never like I've gotten to be a better quarterback. I've gotten to be better at throwing as I've aged for whatever reason. I was always like a good receiver as a kid. But I never the kicking sports and like so soccer in general, and then like you know, trying to kick field goals or punt or whatever, that stuff never for whatever reason came naturally to me. And so it's not something I spend a lot of time doing. But what I've noticed is that also as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little better at that kind of stuff too. So I sit here and I imagine, like, I think to myself, like, you know, I bet you if I went out and tried, like, I could kick a field goal. But I sit here and I think of a 40-yard one, and it seems daunting to me.
I mean, a lot of college kickers miss 35-yard, 30-yard.
Sure.
You know, like,
sure.
If you can consistently kick a 40-yard field goal, you've got a D1 scholarship.
Of course, sure.
You know.
Yeah.
It's going to take you, I'm curious to see. 40 yards is legit.
I know. I'm thinking like it's, I'm going to kick some. They're going to go left, right, and then hopefully I could just get that one perfect tail. You could do.
Yeah.
You gotta film them all then, and get the.
Of course, yeah.
Left foot's got to compensate for this left wrist, so I got the power right now. Right, buddy? Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do it.
It's awesome.
You have a pet?
Yeah, it's my foot.
He's talking to his foot.
All right. I was like,
he's talking to his pet.
You got a cat?
He's talking to his pet foot.
Speaking of 40 days and 40 nights, I met up with G one of these days in South Jersey.
It was an undisclosed location. I met up with my plug.
Yes, so I'm muling stuff to him because we got to re-up. We got to, we got these different things in works. I got to give him some stuff. He gives me some stuff. There's things behind the scenes. People don't know about this, but we're always, giving stuff, taking stuff. Check this out. This is new. This is happening.
It's true.
So we met up with G in an undisclosed location. That's how we roll.
Yep.
And he was walking towards me, and I'm like, "Fuck is this guy?" Early up here, and then you look at him, and I'm like, "Damn, G doesn't have a belly." Usually we got this going on a little bit.
It's a power belly. It's a power belly, my friend. That's a power belly.
I know. I'm like, the belly's not even there. This guy's looking freaking cut up and shredded.
Hey, man,
Nice.
let's not get crazy. But it's been making some progress. I've been basically 6 days a week. I've done 2 cardio sessions and my lifting. So it's like fasted cardio on the bike, then I lift, and then I do a walk at night. And then on Sundays I just do the AM cardio and the lifting. And then I've been not counting calories, but I'm just more conscious of how much I'm eating, and I just cut certain stuff out. And just cutting those things out, I think drastically changed my caloric intake over the course of a day. So just cutting out bread and cutting out milk, doing that alone just made a big difference. So where I used to have a couple English muffins with my breakfast, I'm not doing that anymore. It's just oatmeal. And I have fresh fruit relatively often. I have a salad every day. I'm still eating the variety of lean meats. But I'm just trying to be as clean as possible with it. And I have a couple hacks. I have some show and tell hacks, things that I've found to be worthwhile throughout the process. If you think
Do it.
worth sharing. Okay. So just so you know, one of my go-to shakes throughout this time has been Feast, of course, with liquid egg whites. And the dope thing about liquid egg whites is that they're generally expensive. You're looking at $5 to $6 for a 32 ounce, John. But at Aldi, you can get them for less than $3. So, and I do 8 ounces with the shake, at least once a day. So, one of these jugs for $3 will last 4 days maybe. So and that's, you get a whole cup of egg whites. Whole cup of egg whites has 25 grams of basically just pure high quality protein. And then you mix it with the Feast, and that's about as high powered a clean, low calorie shake is going to be, right? Because obviously you could make a jacked up meal in the mug and have 800 calories, which is fucking great. But when you're trying to diet, you're trying to be calorically economical. So the combination of these two, and then sometimes I'll add half a cup of plain oats. Sometimes I'll add wheat germ to it. But this is the basic core of my shake, and it's awesome. So at Aldi, you can cop these for $3, and you get I think in one of these you're looking at 100 grams of protein in one of these 32 ounce guys.
Awesome.
So
explain to me the whole wheat germ thing, what it does and what it is nutrition wise, because I don't
right. So it's an old school. It's an old school ingredient. It's a derivative of germ. It's of wheat. It's toasted. It's high in fiber. It's got some essential fatty acids. It's got B vitamins, and what's interesting about it is that it's a great source of nitric oxide also. So it's great for blood flow. It's great for circulation, sort of in the same way that like beetroot is.
It's
so
not flaxseed, is it? Like flaxseed?
No. It's a derivative of wheat, and no, it's different than flax. I mean, flaxseed's great for in its own way, but the fact that it's an NO booster is cool because it's good for, like beetroot, it's good for circulation, good for blood flow to the working muscle, good for sexual function, good for all that stuff. So, and it's old school. Like it's the kind of thing that, you know, athletes and like before there were supplements, like bodybuilders and athletes, it was one of the things that they used, you know, back in the day when they used like brewer's yeast and, beef liver and those like really basic old school things. That was like one of the core products, and it's still got a ton of benefits to it, and you can just buy it in any supermarket. It's like $5 for the jar, but the jar will last you like, you know, a couple weeks. Awesome stuff. I think
spoon in there, a couple tablespoons.
I do a tablespoon in each shake, and I think the recommended not dose or whatever, but recommended serving is like 2 tablespoons. So you do 2 tablespoons over the course of the day. It's good in like Greek yogurt. You put it in the Oikos, the 000. Put it in the Triple Z. It's good. You put a tablespoon in there, and it gives it a little bit of texture. Mix it in your oatmeal, mix it in your shake, whatever. But it's good stuff. All right, another hack. Now, usually I'm a black coffee drinker. I've got black coffee in here, Cafe Bustelo. But of late, I've you know, when you're restricting your calories, you're trying to find ways to get a little flavor in your life. So this is one that I found to be quite enjoyable. Is Coffee Mate the sugar-free Italian sweet cream.
The creme.
So
Nice.
you know, I have my vice first thing in the morning, but then like mid afternoon I'll make a coffee, and then that's a way to like sneak in a little bit of flavor in my life without a bunch of calories, a bunch of bullshit, and you know, it curbs that urge for something sweet.
I didn't know they had the zero sugar coffee mates.
Yeah.
Act with it's just cream sugar.
Yeah, and so like, you know, and like I would probably prefer to have one that had all natural ingredients, because like coffee creamer is like, you know, it's oils and stuff like that. Like there are more like natural and organic versions, but I'm literally using like a tablespoon in some black coffee. So it's like if I was hammering that thing and drinking a ton of coffee every day, I'd probably be opting for like a healthier version. But you know, it's a little guilty pleasure that comes without a bunch of calories and any sugar. So right along those lines,
Here we go.
you know, I drink basically Rise all day long, and I've been doing, you know, I really, in my house in general, we've cut out diet soda. Like I'll pick some up every so often, like the Mountain Dew zero sugar or something like that, and like have one here and there, but just not on a regular basis. But one thing that I have been doing throughout the 40 days and 40 nights to accompany meals when I'm not drinking Rise, I've come across some really sort of exotic sugar-free beverages that I got excited about, and I thought I would share them with GCode Nation. So
Nice.
Go love sugar.
here's what I got. So I got Country Time Pink Lemonade Zero Sugar, right? And now these are hard to find. You gotta keep your eyes open for them. They'll be in random places. You'll find them at Big Lots,
Dollar General,
Walmart. There you go, dollar stores, places like that. Like, but then you go to supermarket and they don't have them. Look at this one. Look at that. Zero sugar Tang, son. Tang.
Nice.
How about this? Flash and Fruit Punch High C, sugar free, right?
Awesome.
And then another OG Hawaiian Punch, sugar free.
Nice.
So, you know, if you're eating, you know, chicken and rice, stuff that sucks, you have an opportunity. Not that it sucks. I'm very blessed to have meals. I'm not saying that. But you know what I mean? Stuff that's not as flavorful or as exciting as you might want it to be. And you can pair it with a tasty, you know, sugar-free beverage. It helps. Trying to get a little extra flavor in your life helps know, when you're restricting calories. And yeah, I mean, I think that's really what it is. My activity level's way up and my calories are down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the combination. you know, and I'm trying to not be like a psychopath about it and be like, oh man, am I getting skinny? I'm like, yeah, it's 40 fucking days. You're gonna, you know, I'm still training hard. I'm still, you know, eating. Yeah. So.
You want to hear a failed hack that I've tried?
Yes, sure.
Have you guys ever had cauliflower rice?
Yep.
You know, I've heard about it, but I've never had it.
I've tried it. I bought like frozen bag of cauliflower rice that has like a little bit of seasoning in it. I'm just like,
that's where you went wrong, dude.
I seen it.
What do I do, Sco? Because I'm like, I want
Don't buy frozen.
Skinny boy.
It's like buying canned string beans. You know, like the worst kind of canned string beans versus like fresh string beans.
Giant.
Especially with cauliflower rice, like now you're fucking up the texture of it and everything. You can either get cauliflower and like rice it yourself, which is just dicing it, you know, a million times, or they sell in like almost every supermarket now a bag of fresh rice cauliflower, or like ShopRite or Stop and Shop. Any of those places will do like in the like diced red onion prepared vegetable section, you know, like where you'll see the zoodles and whatnot.
Like the zucchini noodle.
Yeah, they'll do the little plastic cauliflower rice, and dude, I'll use it as a rice substitute sometimes, like stuffed peppers, things like that. Like you put it into something that has like a delicious protein, you know, and you get the flavor of the protein. I'll cook it right with the cauliflower rice, so you get the flavor of the protein through it. And like, I'm not super picky, like, oh, it doesn't taste exactly like rice. Like, I know it's blasphemy. Like, I won't go crazy if like a whole wheat pasta, like that won't bother me or stop me from eating
sure.
pasta. So like to me, those things are like substitutes that I can deal with. And cauliflower rice, man, it works great, man. You can just put that in like a baking tray with like steaks on it or whatever and cook it all together in a hurry. It's a great thing to have. Like I'll have that instead of mashed potatoes or something like I'd rather have even more rice. You know, it's a super healthy substitute. It's a great way to get vegetables in. It absorbs the flavor of whatever you're cooking it in. So, you know, like it can be whatever you want it to be. And so like I find it has a lot of use.
I guess I got like this crappy one, but I'm trying to hold off on this one because I'm like, this is probably going to be the best one because it's got so much flavor to it, the urgent stir fry one.
It's one of those tough vegetables to me to do frozen, where like it just doesn't hold up, man.
Well, the problem, like all right, let me word this appropriately. The convenience of frozen vegetables is an asset. The problem with it is that it's difficult to have frozen vegetables not be sort of like waterlogged and mushy.
Right.
And one of the things that makes vegetables more enjoyable, at least for me personally, is when they have a little bit of crunch to them, a little bit of texture to them. When it's just mush, it's like, you know, and so it's different. You have to also almost like undercook frozen vegetables, and it's an art.
It's like mushrooms, right? Like, it's tough to get a good like. If you're getting canned mushrooms, you're like putting it into gravy. You have to put it into something where it's like drowns out the real flavor of it. Whereas like fresh mushrooms, you could like, man, you do anything with a fresh mushroom, it's pretty good. I feel the same way about cauliflower or like broccoli, like frozen broccoli versus fresh broccoli, like no contest, you know?
Right.
So go, dude, I'm telling you. Now look, it'll be like $5.50 for a big thing. Versus like you can probably get a bag of rice cauliflower for like $2. So it's definitely costs more, but like I used to do the same thing. I went and bought the frozen bags and I'm like, oh, this will be quicker. This is easier, cheaper, all that. And then like I bought like 4 of them and then I cooked with the first one. Oh shit, this is not tasty.
Now, did you guys have you made I feel like you and Kaylee are always on the cutting edge with this stuff. Did you make cauliflower pizza crust?
Yeah, but we did, and the first time we did it, this is like 6-7 years ago probably. Right. The first time we did it, we nailed it. But man, dude, it's like a 2-hour process to get right. Like you're mixing it with cheese and like that's another thing too. It's like half cauliflower, half cheese.
Right.
And so it's not even like you're getting.
Right.
In my opinion, like this isn't necessarily healthier.
Right. Well, it's probably for those people who are trying to go like the keto style.
Oh yeah, right. No, I totally get it. But like for
And
me,
but I get it. I totally get it too.
You know, I was looking for something healthier than pizza crust, but still enjoyable. And to me, I'm like, this takes forever. I'm eating a brick of cheese.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and 2 out of 3 times something goes wrong.
You know what's my take on the healthy pizza has always been is the whole wheat pita pizza.
Bang.
So to make a pizza out of pita bread.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like they're almost like little toaster oven pizzas, you know, and like you know, if you go with like you know, a little olive oil, little sauce, you know, a healthier quality cheese, and then like you know, chicken veggies, whatever the fuck you want to top it with, like all of a sudden you're creating this little thing that's amazing, but is really not shitty in terms of you know, food quality. So it's like the kind of thing that you could not necessarily dieting eat, but it's the kind of thing where if you're trying to eat well and eat properly, eat healthy, and you know, stay somewhat, you know, on the rails, it's the kind of thing you can get away with that's delicious and
hell yeah,
you know, still worthwhile.
I used to do the similar thing. I would get like low cal wraps, like low carb wraps, like a whole wheat wrap.
Yep.
And get a pizza cutter and cut it into like 12 slices or whatever, and bake the wrap slices, and then I could have nachos. I'd make like healthy nachos with it. They crisp up. You know what I mean? Sure. So I'd cut like 2, you know, you could have, like, you trick your brain almost into like, man, if you're like, when I was ever hankering for something like nachos, I try to do, that's like my workaround. Nice. Where it's still healthy and I'm not eating like, you know, that's like a type of thing you normally order, right? Or you have to get like a big bag of toasty. It's tough to get like healthy nacho chips, you know, like you're eating crap one way or another, no matter how organic it seems or whatever you go for. That would be my workaround. So there are ways to like substitute and cheat stuff like that. I'm always trying to find stuff like that.
Life hacks, SCO hacks.
Yeah. Like I believe, you know, I'm a big fan of the Greek yogurt instead of sour cream.
Sure.
Especially now they picked up on it. Now they make the squeeze bottle of Greek yogurt.
I saw that.
It's Greek yogurt, but it's sold as a condiment for exactly that reason. Yep.
For sure.
They stole your idea, dude.
I'm just glad they're listening.
I've been making like so like a lot of the time what I'll do is I'll try to have like a proper breakfast, then like smaller meals over the course of the day, a proper clean breakfast, smaller meals over the course of the day. And then like my dinner, I'll try to have that be like probably the biggest meal of the day that I have during this process. And like one of the things that I've been getting into and can get away with on this thing so far is making like almost like a street inspired taco, right? Where I get the corn tortillas, which are like the OG, the real stuff that they use, right? And you know, they're calorically, like, 2 of them has like 35 calories, right? So, but you have to like toast them in the pan, warm them in the pan, right? But then, you know, I'll just go with like steak and top them with, you know, try to keep it like Mexico City style, right? But I'll just top them with raw onion, avocado, tomato, cilantro, lime juice, hot sauce.
I'm drooling.
Yeah, and it's fucking killer. It's high protein. There's not much excess calories, but it totally satisfies you in a way where you're like,
I could eat that every meal, dude.
I know,
like,
for real,
you know,
for real. Yep.
Like like that is like what you ever see, like it's like a meme or like what could you eat every meal? Like, dude, tacos, especially like that, man. Like,
for sure.
Forget it.
For sure. Banging. Yep, no doubt. No fucking
Dirt,
doubt.
what food could you eat if you had to eat it like almost every meal?
Right. Where they choose, you only have access to one food.
Maybe you can you can change a little bit of how it's constructed, but for the most part, like you have to stick to it.
I think we're all on the same page with this, that it's tacos, man. You could do the steak, the chicken, the chicharrone, the pollo,
steak, tacos would definitely be it. The other one that's similar to that for me would be eggs. There's almost no bad way. Like there's almost no version of eggs that I don't love, from hard boiled to egg salad, sunny side, you know what I mean? Like eggs Benedict, like any type of egg scrambled, anything. I've got like a version of it that I fucking love. I could eat that. Like there's never a bad time for that meal, you know?
Yep.
I got a question for you guys as we're talking about food right now. You're at the shopping center.
Always eating.
You're at the shopping center, right? You're at your local shopping place, wherever the hell, ShopRite. I don't know what G's got down there, but you grab the deli ticket, and you can only get 3 meats to make a sandwich. What do you get?
And is this just to make my perfect sandwich? Health choices are off the table.
It's your perfect sandwich. You get 2 meats, and then you get a cheese.
So I'm combining these 3.
Yes.
Well, that kind of eliminates, I love roast beef would be like my first choice.
Right.
In terms of my favorite, like deli sliced meat, a nice rare boar's head roast beef. Love that. Yeah. But I wouldn't ever add a second
meat to that.
You don't have to add it. Just you're getting a roast beef and
I'm gonna get double roast beef.
Okay. And then what kind of cheese? You doing a chesy?
There's a lot of cheese that I like. It's not even like the best cheese, but with a roast beef, I love American cheese.
American is so slept on. Yeah. It's a good answer.
Greg, you're
all right. Well, I here's what I'm gonna say. I co-sign Sco's because I am a roast beef enthusiast, also an American cheese enthusiast. But just for the sake of variety and to make the Squadcast better, I'll choose. Those are off the table now, and I can't choose.
Yes,
They've been drafted. Roast beef and American cheese are the 1 and 2 picks in this draft. So I think I would probably err on the side of I'd go Italian. So I'd probably from the family of prosciutto, sopressade, capicola, pick one of those, and then pair it. I don't think you would do 2 of those. So I would do one of those like more exotic cured meats, and then maybe like a peppered ham. Like a ham, like a good quality ham with the black pepper around the edges. Go with a good quality. That's like one of my pop's favorites. Go with a good quality ham with the black pepper around the edges. Get like a prosciutto or sopressade, something like that, and then provolone cheese. And I would construct an amazing Italian fucking sandwich.
Turkey.
Let's go get some.
No, man, it sounds incredible. All right, go ahead, Dermalone.
Mine would be like, the Virginia ham. They always.
Okay. Oh, sure.
The turkey would be whatever's on sale.
Okay.
And then I would do like the provolone cheese.
Okay.
So ham, turkey, provolone.
Yep.
That's solid.
All on one sandwich.
And that's solid. Now, Sco feels some type of way about is it like the
crossing the streams?
Well, so you got the pork, and then you got the cow byproduct. And then you got the fowl. So you got turkey action. It's almost like the bacon cheeseburger mindfuck. Remember?
Yeah. To me, turkey breast is its own, or chicken. I love chicken. I think chicken breast is slept on, but I would never mix either turkey or chicken breast with a second meat.
It works though. It works.
I mean, I'm sure just for me, I would never.
Here's what I'm saying.
Like if I'm doing one of those, I'm doing like the healthy version of the sandwich.
Well, yeah, that's not what we're talking
I've already
about
made the decision to taste. Like if I'm doing turkey or chicken breast, I've already made the decision that taste isn't the most important thing.
Right.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like if I'm going for I'm going for mouth joy.
Right.
If I'm going for mouth joy, I already took the exit for roast beef, or it's like an Italian hero. Yeah.
All right, so Dirt Malone. See, here's the thing. For me, if I'm gonna do bodybuilding sandwich, I'm gonna do roast beef or turkey, and if I'm gonna do enjoyment sandwich, I'm doing an Italian. That's where I go with the cold cuts. But here's what I gotta say, Sco. If I had access to said meats of Dirt Malone's, John, and then we make a little toast. You got a little toast going, right? And then I might have a quality mayonnaise and then a mustard, and I might have them both on said sandwich.
Nice.
And then it might go with a little tomato and a little lettuce on that sandwich. That's going to be a good sandwich, and I bet you would like it.
I'm salivating. Yeah. You know, I'll be honest. You got to work pretty hard to build a sandwich that I'm not interested in.
Well, and this goes
across ethnicities.
Yeah, for sure. And this goes back to the bread conversation, right? Because I say to the fucking ends of the earth, you go and you get the highest quality fucking cured meats from a fucking butcher shop in Spain. Ooh. And if you put it on shitty bread, it's a shitty sandwich.
Right.
But if you get the best fucking bread in the world from a baguette in Paris, and then you put bologna on it, guess what? It's a banging sandwich. It's a banging sandwich.
Yeah.
So like that, I always keep that in mind.
Now.
I always keep that in mind.
I want like a hard Italian roll right now, so bad.
Oh, yo, and 40/40. You know what? The other thing that I cut out is the fucking late night bowl of cereal, which you know it's hard for me. It's hard for me.
It's a big sacrifice.
I told Sienna we're having a fucking cereal party when 40/40's over. We're gonna have a fucking.
So yeah, what's your first like? Because I'm eating totally clean, no alcohol, nothing. 40 days, like I'm in for that. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And so I've got a long list.
Yeah.
Brewing in my head of things I'm dying to eat.
Right.
When it ends.
Right.
What's something you're like? Is cereal it? Like when you're like. You get through this, you're gonna be like, yes, or ice cream or something like that.
Well, what I've been doing is like Sunday night, I'll have something that I want to eat, and Tara usually bakes something, so I'll have something on Sunday night. So I've been just like sort of looking forward to Sunday night, and then like making all of those like daily dietary sacrifices, and then having a caloric, spike in the calories on Sunday night, and I think that's probably good for you when your calories are low. So it's not like I have like this long list of like things that I'm dying to have, but I would definitely. But when it's all said and done, I'll definitely enjoy some cereal. I just enjoy a bowl of cereal, and it's usually the thing that I eat late night as a dessert to keep me from fucking freaking out and eating something I really shouldn't. So I'm looking forward to be able to add that. That's the one for me. What about you, Dirty Milo? Have you sacrificed anything throughout 40/40? Are there?
I obviously I'm not sacrificing alcohol. I like to have my summer drinks and stuff like that.
Right.
But I've just been eating cleaner. Like I've been staying away from carbs, like I said, with like the cauliflower rice and stuff like that, and just being cognizant of what I'm eating. So I'm not going off the rails. I'll pass the cookie jar. I'll have one cookie maybe, and I'm just like fuck. But once this is all over, I'm making a huge tray of penne vodka.
Wow.
And then I'm going to go in on like some like chicken marsala or make a big thing of meatballs and sausage and just fucking go in until I'm just sitting on the couch.
Fuck. I'm going right from this to eating somehow.
That sounds fucking amazing.
I guess the second I end this, food will be in my mouth within 8 seconds.
Well, like one of the interesting things too is like I am not a believer in like IIFYM or any of those fucking acronym fucking calorie is a calorie sort of diet fads, even though there are people who like are religious about that shit. But I think we've had this conversation on the cast before, is that I've always sort of instinctively done that, where like there will be days when like under just normal circumstances where you get busy, you got a million things going on, and like I said, all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock and you're like, dude, what did I eat today? You're like, oh, holy shit, I trained, it's like, oh, I fucking trained, I'm a 240-pound dude, and it's fucking 7 p.m. and I've eaten 600 calories. It's like, you're like, how the fuck, right? And then I'll eat something bigger and I'll have a bowl of cereal and I'll have that stuff, and then all of a sudden I got the calories in at the end of the day, or at least somewhat, right? But the interesting thing about this is like, that like when you're restricting your calories, you start to realize that like you can have a meal that's got a little bit more substance to it, or have like a potatoes, or pasta or something like that. You could. I'm not talking about chicken, chicken Alfredo or something like that. That's over the top. Chicken parm, and nothing crazy like that. But like if you want to have pasta, you want to have potatoes, like you can build that into your diet in a way that still is sensible. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I think that's one of the things that you realize too. It's like you can get a lot of gratification from food that's still healthy for you.
Yep.
without just losing your fucking mind. Like Dirt Malone, and a part of it's like moderation too. Like when Dirt says he can go past the cookie jar and have an Oreo, I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Because I'm the type who I'd rather, you know, I say this all the time, I'd rather have 0 cookies
than one
or be able to eat 20.
Yep.
I'm not good at like having a cookie. I'd rather not have any cookies. I'd rather not have the cookie in my system. I'd rather totally abstain and not trigger the cookie gene. I have the cookie gene. My children, my daughters, I have inherited the cookie gene, right? Where they just don't even know why, but they just need a cookie at all times.
Cookie o'clock all the time.
Always.
Like you got to earn it to earn it. So if I'm over here,
that's it. Burn it to earn it.
To get the fucking cookie.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Bullshit.
Wind sprints to the Oreo.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Have you been running, Dirt?
Yeah, I've been running. I haven't been posting all of them, but then I kind of took like a little hiatus from it because there's something like I said, the freaking psoas, Greg.
Psoas.
Groin has been so tight that I'm like, I guess if you run every day and you're not flexible enough or you're just not used to running, your fucking body's like, stop it, stop it, stop. So I feel like there's sharp pain shooting up. And I literally collapsed one day, like in tears. I'm like, I can't fucking move. So I started biking. I'm taking a break. Like I'm doing the yoga thing, just trying to be more flexible and get it going.
Nice.
But this morning I ran like 2 miles. So
awesome.
I'm chipping away at it, man. I'm doing it.
Good, man.
But
yeah, I was good. You know, I said I was going to do 3,000 push-ups during 4 days, 40 nights. Yeah. And then after a week, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to ratchet this up and I'm going for 6,000.
Yeah.
And I was catching up to the pace I need to be at for 6,000. This morning, man, for whatever fucking reason, I guess I haven't been stretching for them. I just start doing them. And I got piercing fucking pain in my shoulder this morning. Like I had to stop immediately. So I'm hoping tomorrow, at least tomorrow, I can do it some more. But today, man, it was the first time.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, we'll do the fucking shoulder, the whole shoulder.
I mean, I'm like it's like, what are we? We're day 16 and I'm at 2,000 and something.
Right.
You know.
So you're well ahead of pace.
But the first week I was doing 75 a day. So like for the last 10 days or 9 days, I've been doing 250.
Right. Well,
and fucking, I probably should have been stretching and spacing it out more and all that.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, the thing that I don't do often enough, but I preach it, and Dirt knows that I'm going to say is properly just warming up your shoulders. Yeah. Not even necessarily stretching.
That's what I meant.
I always remind myself of this. I always fucking say this, right? That these shoulders are not meant to do what we do to them. The thought of like these sort of like intricate, delicate joint lifting hundreds and hundreds of pounds over and over again. It's not supposed to necessarily do that, especially for years on end. And like what Dirt's talking about, what you're talking about are overuse injuries. That's what it's coming. It's because it's just the mileage is fucking piling up. You know, when I was saying about when we were doing the half hour of power workouts, you know, all throughout the quarantine, I got to a point where I was like, oh man, like, can I strategically not put a tricep workout in this week because my elbows are hurting me? Because I'm still training normally and I'm still doing chest and I'm still doing all the stuff that I would normally do. And I'm training, I have an arm day. And now I'm doing these extra workouts and I'm feeling the uptick in activity. So like, you know, you not to like over dramatize its goal, but like 250 push-ups is legit. And it's like, it's almost like you're doing a chest workout every day.
Oh yeah. No,
and there's a reason that you don't do a chest workout every day, you know? So it's like one of those things. Now I know that there's people in certain circumstances, you know, there's boxers and athletes who get into a program where they'll do the same exercise every day, pull-ups every day, and they're fine. But the mileage piles up.
Wait, so you're not on trend or tests or anything right now?
Me, no. Just the natural abundance of tests that my body produces.
That courses through his veins at all times.
That's right.
In your neck, then you'll be doing 150.
You can smell it on me.
Yeah, you just smell the dude's neck, and then he's on King.
Dude, get one whiff of my neck. You'll be running. You'll be good.
I had that sense where I could smell someone's sweat and be like, guy's running chest, and I can smell it. Then the next guy goes by at like the trade shows and be like, yes,
he's got 8 weeks to live.
Yeah,
like
so
one of the dogs that can smell illness.
Yeah. They should put
It's a
me
real thing.
I just walk back and I follow the guy, like wait for the dog, okay, walk with him, and then I'll just smell him, and then he can walk to the next piece of equipment, like the airports.
Sco's on king. Plus, he's got the natural, rugged masculinity coursing through his veins. He's a dangerous man, a dangerous man.
Dude, I saw a fucked up movie. It might be too fucked up.
It might be too fucked up to mention.
I gotta look this up. Give me a second.
Oh no! Oh no! Here's what it is. When Sco says that it's really dark, where it's like it's dark, bro.
Hey, Sco got
it's called The Gift.
Okay.
It's Jason Bateman.
Okay.
And Joel Edgerton. Okay. If you don't know who Joel Edgerton is, you will. If you see him, you'll know it. And he directed it and wrote it. Okay.
Okay.
But so it's this really fucked up. So it's just a fucked up movie recommendation for everybody that's on Netflix.
Love it.
And I'm not necessarily saying it's a great movie, but
Right.
It's got like one of those things that you're not going to see coming. And it's like, you're like they made the movie just for this one moment of the film where you're like, what the fuck? It's one of those deals.
Movies. Wait, what's it called?
It's called The Gift. Dirt, you'll dig it.
Well, you're the one that got me on Tusk, which is my favorite movie of all time.
I mean, like, these are not movies that, like, would you say Tusk is a great movie? I've never said that it is.
It's so horrible, but when you say they turned this guy into a walrus, I'm like, I gotta see it. I gotta see how this happens.
They're like, I'm a big fan of people who have, like, a concept for a movie that has, like, no right to get made. Like, I can't imagine, like, the pitch where, like, a guy went into a room and tried to tell some, like, stuffy millionaire dude, okay, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, like, this sheltered dude on the other side of the table saying yes, like, what it takes to get something like that made. So, like, I dig guys who, like, push the envelope or it's something crazy. Like, Parasite was, like, the first, like, great film that did stuff like that. And all those guys, that same director, all his films are, like, concept movies in a way like that are, like, have this crazy premise and something, wild happens. But so I'm not saying this is, like, a great movie like Parasite, but this is a movie where, like, they had this fucked up idea and they went out and made it. So, like,
watch it.
It's interesting. It's like a guy moves back to his hometown with his wife and runs into, like, an old friend, this kid, and the guy, it's almost like the guy won't leave them alone. And it keeps getting, like, it progresses and it progresses and progresses. And then you're like, what the like, you just total blindside. So it's on Netflix. Like, Jason Bateman, I'll watch, like, almost anything he's in. Like,
I like
usually
him. Yep.
His comedies are always great. I thought Ozark was, like, a little overrated, but I tried that. But, like, I'll take a flyer on anything he's in usually. And it's interesting. So there you go. That's something for all you people out there who probably finished Netflix in the last 3 months because of quarantine. There's a new one for you.
Nice.
I gotta peep that.
Nice. I'm excited. I'll add it to the list of movies that
you won't watch.
No, it just gets, the list gets longer. The list just gets longer and it never gets shorter.
I'm sure there are 1,000 better movies on that list,
right.
But
Well, when Sco says it's dark, it could be really dark. Dirt, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I know Sco's mind a little bit. So when he said,
I mean, this isn't like Greg. What's that movie?
I don't know.
The most fucked up movie we ever saw, probably.
Oh shit.
Gasparino's made it. Irreversible.
Yes, Irreversible.
God.
It's not on that level.
Gasparino's fucked up, and the other guy, Lars von Trier's, is fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and they're both really good filmmakers. They're incredible filmmakers, but their movies.
No, they're like crazy, tormented.
Yeah, painful to watch.
Fucked up, dark dudes.
Well, it's like what's his face is the American version of it from New York, who made King of New York.
Right. Oh my God, that we can't. We're gonna name this without Google.
He made The Addict. He made King of New
York.
Yeah. He made
the Johnny
Bad Lieutenant.
Right.
Yeah. He's an incredible filmmaker, but he's just fucked up. He's got a lot of issues.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, look it up. It's sad that
this is pathetic. Alzheimer's is what this is, dude.
Yeah.
Abel Ferrara.
Abel Ferrara from New York. Yeah, he's an incredible filmmaker. But definitely a tormented soul. You know, Bad Lieutenant. Have you ever seen Bad Lieutenant, Dirt Malone?
Is it a good movie?
But I don't. I reject the premise that if it's a good movie, it means you haven't seen it.
No, it's on SCO because now I'm gonna have to go watch the freaking Bateman movie, and that's not a good movie according to SCO, but it's something you gotta watch. So that's how it happens.
I think you'll like it.
Right.
That's all I'll say. I think you'll like it.
Have you seen?
It's not. It's not like it should have been won Best Picture or something like this high level of craftsmanship, but like they went for it, and it's a little crazy. I dig things where it's outside the box, it's bold. I'm sure in the making of it, someone involved was like, should we do this?
That's awesome. Oh, that's a good time. Yeah,
it's uncomfortable, so I like stuff like that.
Of course.
That's where I think the good juice is. And so, The Gift. Check it out.
Maybe the one guy who owed the director of Favor was like, listen, you owe me, so I'm going to make this fucking movie, okay?
Dude, you never know. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they had to blackmail someone to make the movie.
Wow.
Here's my movie, Peanut Butter Falcon.
I've heard about it. I've heard it's really good.
Check it out.
I've heard it's really good. It's what's his face is the star of it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Also did a movie.
I heard it's a really good film.
Yeah, he did a movie called Honey Boy, which is based on himself as a child and just how fucked up his dad was, and
I heard about that. So
it's interesting, and I like his films as of recent because he's been in and out doing some crazy shit, rehab, so he's kind of woke.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
these crazy movies fuck all these commercial Avenger movies. So.
No, well here's what I hear. I heard Peanut Butter Falcon, not to be confused with Sco's favorite MC, Peanut Butter Wolf. Okay. Peanut Butter Falcon is a really good film, and then I also heard that Honey Boy is pretty fucked up.
It's fucked up. It wasn't as good as Peanut Butter Falcon, but it's you see the kids living. You just got to check it out.
I heard Peanut Butter Falcon SCO is almost like a Wes Anderson film without the idiosyncrasies. It has the heart of a Wes Anderson film.
Oh, nice.
Without
check it out then.
Without the artistry, but it's got the heart of that kind of film. You know what I mean?
Shia LaBeouf, I think he's an interesting guy because he's he kind of plays off of his. It seems like there's things going on there. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
He subverts his pop culture kind of status he had at one point where he's the next big star.
Yep.
But he's done all these weird, not to turn this into LaBeoufcast, which, never would have guessed. But he did all these weird performance art things. He locked himself in an elevator with a group of people for 24 hours and live streamed it.
Wow.
He had a film festival filming him watching his own movies.
Wow.
Did he do something in New York City too?
Yeah, he went and did this was 2 blocks from where I used to live, right? He went, I'm trying to find it here. It's not even on the list of his best things. I think he went and tied himself up outside of the film museum and did all this crazy stuff for 10 days.
Right.
He's done all this weird, subversive kind of stuff.
I know he's out there on the edge.
Yeah. And so, it wouldn't surprise me if he has, a run of crazy, bold movies worth checking out,
No doubt. There's definitely, like you're saying, there's something going on there. There's more than meets the eye. He's got depth to him, and he's got, a voice. So I dig that. He was
on you can watch him freestyle on Sway in the Morning, 5 Fingers of Death on YouTube. Have you ever seen that?
Was he good? No. Was he good, Scott?
I wouldn't look, dude. He's better than I thought Shia LaBeouf was going to be on Sway.
That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, of course.
No, he was. He's not fucking. He's not Nas.
Right.
So I went in there expecting it to be awful.
Right.
It was not awful.
Dirt's disappointed that he's not Nas. All right. Well, listen.
all right, whatever.
Before we wrap,
Did you think he was that bad?
I haven't seen it, so
I didn't see it, but if you look at Honey Boy, you kind of feel for him, and you'd be like, wow, that's his upbringing was kind of fucked up. So then you realize created this thing.
I mean, like it seemed to me like he went on Sway in the morning and did like and freestyled for 6 straight minutes. So like,
wow,
you know,
yeah,
and with like punchlines, like not
right,
and wordplay, like not like there's a hat. It's near a cat.
So,
like,
so that means he loves hip hop culture. Then, at the very least, he loves hip hop culture.
At the very least, he's like done a lot of drugs and like sat in a living room with 4 dudes who love hip hop and freestyled for a couple hundred hours.
Right, sure.
Like he's not a novice,
right,
but he's not a recording artist. You know.
Scott, dude, Derek Malone's been in those rooms with him.
He's hung out with me a couple.
Dude, he was playing. He was beatboxing for Sheila LaBeouf. Holding the beer funnel.
Lebo. All right, listen. Before we wrap, let me talk some heat. First heat is that I'm wearing this, my friends. This. Ooh. Consistency is king. Consistency, right? What we say, it doesn't look sexy on a t-shirt. I think we're disproving that. It does now. I think we're disproving that, right? Consistency is everything. You can cop this shirt. You can get this shirt for free. This is the Heather Orange, the original G-Code color. You can get this shirt for free.
Just had someone buy it as you were saying that.
Look at that. That's what we need.
Shout out.
More and more of those. Also, I on each side of me I have fire. The first is my best friend Pooh Bearsy.
Hey, Pooh Bearsy.
Checking in. My homie. And then the second is this. I have a funny Pooh Bear story is that there was a time when Sko was staying at my place in PA, and it was for whatever reason it was just him and Pooh Bear there for an entire day while I was at work while we were working on screenplay shit, and Pooh Bear was like just passed out in his bed when I got back from work, and I'm like, Pooh Bear, what's up, man? How you doing? And Sko was upstairs in the loft, so I couldn't even see him. I was like, Pooh Bear, how you doing, man? What you been up to? And I just hear Sko go, that's pretty much it. Because he's just sleeping the entire day.
The dream life.
Living the fucking dream. I always say about Pooh Bear that the thing that can give you some comfort is that no matter how hard your day or challenging your schedule, he's taking it easy for us.
There you go.
So you know
he's got that part covered.
Somebody is taking it easy. And even if you can't, I know he's taking it easy and chilling out. The second inspiring piece of fire I have nearby is this guy.
Ooh.
Dirty Malone, talk about that.
So that is the new super saturated and sexy G-Code orange bandana that we are, should I just say it? I mean, it's
coming soon.
It is coming soon.
And you're going to be able to cop it very, very soon. And you're going to love it. And it's beautiful where the design is so you can wear.
You made that alteration.
On this way. Or if you want to wear it covering your face, you can get the logo side going that way. So
that's right.
Boom, there he is.
Bang it.
I'll do the male modeling for you, Dermot.
Speaking of the shirt, though, anybody spends $50 on the site, on GCodeNutrition.com right now, add the shirt to your cart and use the code 40X40. 40X40. The shirt is free.
See, so that's the thing. Like, there's people who are just gonna want to cop the shirt because they just cop the apparel. There's some people like that, but the crazy thing is that you can still cop apparel and your supplements and then get it for free. And like every so often, we'll run a promo like that, and I'll see somebody who doesn't put the 2 and 2 together because it's obviously these messages get lost sometimes in translation, and they don't realize that like you can get the shirt you can still cop some stuff. And in the money that you would have spent on the shirt, you're now getting something else and getting the shirt for free. So like,
and like this is not like a one size fits all tee.
No.
So you can pick your size, add it to the cart, use 40X40.
Yep.
Buy some Rise, some Vice, get that shirt for free.
Get yourself some Rise and Vice, and then give it to your pops or something.
That's it.
That's right. Or you can buy one. You buy one and get some Rise or whatever, and then get a second one for free. And then you could get a second one for free and gift it to someone in your circle, your training partner, your significant other.
Sexy.
You know what I'm saying? You give it to your dad for Father's Day, I think is what Dirt Malone was intimating there.
Coming up.
That's it. That is it.
All right, guys. Well, take care of yourselves. Keep going to 40-40.
Absolutely.
We got to get together soon.
Very much so. We're going to be continuing to do all we can to bring the heat to G-Code Nation. We got a lot on deck.
Pickles on
Peace
deck.
to GCode Nation.
Yep. Much love to you guys.
See you guys all soon.
All right, bro. Peace.